In this video, we're going to quickly tidy up our scene loading so that when you click start, it takes you to the game scene. We don't have much of a game in there yet. And when you finish playing the game, you say, yep, correct answer. It takes you to the play again. And from play again, it takes you back to start. So we'll be doing that full cycle, and I'll be setting it to you as a challenge to take that on yourself. So let's jump in and have a look at our challenge. So we laid the foundations in the previous lecture for what we're doing now, which is our challenge to load all of the scenes. So I give this to you as a challenge. I think you've got all the information to load from start menu to core game, which we did in the last video, from core game to win screen, and then from the win screen back to the start menu, which will require a different method to set up. So let me give you some hints here. If that's enough for you to go on, then jump in and take on that challenge now. If you want some hints, here are the hints. Each scene will need a scene loader game object. As we set up in our start menu, we created a scene loader. We'll need one of those for each of our scenes. We need to add a new public method called load start scene. We'll add that to our script that we've already got, our sceneloader.cs script. We also need to use within that load start scene method, we need to use the scene manager.loadScene method as we did in our other public method, but we are changing what is loaded. So that's the challenge. Dive in, play around with it, see how you go, and give it your best shot, and I'll see you back here when you are ready. Okie dokie. The first thing I'm going to do is to go into our core game. We've already done the start menu, so let's go into core game, and we can see core game in here. We have just our success button. What I need to do is create a new game object. And I'm going to do this the slower, more manual way for this exercise. Those of you who are a little bit more familiar with Unity might know a sneaky different way to do this, to do with using prefabs. We're going to do a lot of prefab work in the upcoming section. For now, we're going to do it the manual way, create a little bit of pain, the fact that we're having to do the same step 3 times. So I really want you to get that, the fact we're doing the same thing the same way 3 times, which is creating a scene loader. Okay. I'm going to reset the transform on that. We'll add the component. We already have the script, so what I'll do, rather than clicking add component, I'll come over into my scripts folder and just drag that over onto my scene loader. Blump, there we go. So now we've created our scene loader game object and our scene loader script. We need to hook up the button so it knows what to be loading into, down to our on click here, plus we will change the scene loader down here, or add the scene loader instead of having none, and then our function, instead of no function, we need to have our load next scene. So that should be all it takes on this level. Let's just play, make sure that is indeed successful. If we click the success button, once it loads, 6 buttons, yeah, then it takes us to the play again screen. Cool, so that is success. We've completed, I'm just going to save that, make sure you save it, good. We have in our scenes, we've done start menu goes to core game goes to win screen, and win screen, let's load up the win screen with our play again button. So as I did before, I'm going to right click, create empty, rename this game object, we'll rename it scene loader. As I mentioned just a moment ago, you should feel the pain of having to do this the exact same way 3 times. Reset the transform. Great, and then scene loader, we will find our scripts and drag that onto our scene loader. Cool, that is done there. However, if we hook up our play again button, we don't want this to go to the next scene because there is no more next scene. If we look at our build settings here, we go from 0 to 1 to 2. If we add +1 to 2, we go to 3. There is no 3. And because we know for sure that, let me look at our scenes here, that we're always, no matter how many scenes we have, if we say play again, we're always going to come all the way back to the start, which is scene index 0. In this instance, it's okay to specify go load scene index 0. Jump into sceneloader.cs. We need to create a new public method, public void, what was I asking you to call this? Start, no, load. Let me just look at my challenge slide. Load start scene. Load start scene. Okay, and what is within load start scene? We need our curly braces. It's pretty simple. We don't need to worry about the scene index we're currently on, so we don't need to grab this to declare this variable. All we need to know is scene manager.load scene. So we'll type that in, scene manager.load scene. And what are we loading? Well, straight up loading scene 0. We can do it that way. Just load scene 0 because we know it will always be the start scene. Save that. Just clean up a little bit of my white space here. That's good. And save again. Jump over into Unity. Find the play button, play again button. We will now have, if I scroll down in my inspector while clicked on the play again button, click on the plus icon, drag in scene loader, boink. Instead of no function, we will change scene loader to, we should see in here, load start scene. So add that to the button, click on play, moment of truth. I should be able to click play again, takes me back to the start, success. So I can just go around in this cycle, like cycle. I can go around in this circuit, I think is the word I was after there, which allows us to go from play again to start and to our game. And we're going to be putting in all of the game itself in a moment now that we've got our structure and our flow. And this is a sort of structure and flow you can reuse in other sections of the course and also reuse in your own projects now that we've set it up. But now we do have this structure of loading. We need an actual game that we can play. So that's what we'll be doing in upcoming videos. Great work, and I'll see you again very soon.